So, is your mail safe? This is a question more and more people have been asking as more and more mail disappears.
Tonight, the News 5 investigators are digging into the string of mail carrier robberies and mail thefts impacting all of us. Take a look at this. The post office is now taking their warning about not using those blue mailboxes a step further. We found this box outside the post office in Shaker Heights, taped up and blocked off.
All new at 6, News 5 investigator Jonathan Walsh shows us where stolen mailbox keys and a lot more stolen checks are selling for big bucks.
Last September, News 5 investigators reported a 161% increase in mail theft. Since then,
I want to ask you, is anything getting better?
No, in fact, the opposite. It's getting worse and worse and worse.
In the past few months, several of our local postal workers were robbed at gunpoint and more mail stolen.
Think about what's happening. It's nuts.
This is Frank Albergo, the national president of the Postal Police Officers Association. He says robbers are getting their hands on universal keys called arrow keys.
They open up all blue collection boxes. They open up P.O. boxes. They open up cluster apartment boxes.
That can affect thousands of people in entire zip codes. Keys used to snag mail, especially personal and business checks. And where is it all ending up?
We're trying to alert the authorities about this issue with the hope that they will do something about it.
Meet Dr. David Maimon from Georgia State University. He and his team track the sale of illegal items on online underground markets through apps. David has certainly seen the arrow keys popping up.
Offering keys for sales for amounts ranging from $1,000 to sometimes $7,000, depending on the zip code and the location.
But that's not all. The original arrow keys are copied and sold to crooks, making the access to mailboxes even wider.
It's fairly easy once you have a picture of the key to actually print 3D or use 3D printers to print keys as well.
And when it comes to checks,
some of the months we see more than $10 million being stolen. In other months, we see more than $30 million being stolen.
In fact, his team reports that in October of 2020, the average was 114 stolen checks in a week. In October of 2021,
that average reached to more than 1,000.
He tells us personal checks are sold for $120 to $175 each. Business checks up to $250 each. Crooks will buy them, wash the checks with things like nail polish remover, and write in a new amount. So what is happening with the security of your mail? Well, we asked the Cleveland Post Office 10 different questions. It answered one of them, saying there are no plans to replace the blue boxes or the locks on the boxes. For all the other answers, it referred us to the Office of Inspector General and Postal Inspections. Now, the OIG answered half a question, then referred us to Postal Inspections. And the initial response from Postal Inspections was, we're going to refer you back to Cleveland. Do you see the circle? All of this is happening while USPS cut back postal police officers' responsibilities for mail carriers, mail, and boxes.
We're sitting around. We're not protecting the mail when it's off postal property. It makes absolutely no sense.
So in the meantime, what do you do with your important letters, mail, and payments?
Do not mail anything in a blue collection box.
You probably want to go in a post office and leave your mail with a clerk.
Especially with tax season right around the corner and checks are bound to be in the mail. I'm News 5 investigator Jonathan Walsh.
Wow. Okay, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service did apologize for referring us back to the Cleveland Post Office. It says it takes its role seriously and inspectors are at work to protect your mail. This is a story now we've been following for weeks, and we will keep doing just that, both on air and on the News 5 app.